Our gospel reading this morning is from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 17, verses 1 through 9. Listen for the word of God. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and his brother John, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. He was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became dazzling white. And suddenly there appeared to them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 dwellings here, one for you and one for Moses and one for Elijah." And while he was still speaking, suddenly a bright cloud overshadowed them. And from the cloud a voice said, "This is my son, the beloved. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell to the ground and were overcome by fear. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Get up and do not be afraid." And when they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus ordered them, "Tell no one about the vision until after the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Will you pray with me? Almighty God, we come to you once again to speak to our hearts. So may the words of my mouth and the meditation of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Well, today is the Sunday that we call the Sunday of the Transfiguration. And we always read this passage from the Gospels about Jesus' incredible transfiguration into white, and Moses and Elijah being there with him. It marks the end of the season of Epiphany and the beginning of the season of Lent, that season of preparation. Now, Epiphany, which was a few weeks ago, was the presentation of Christ to the world. You remember on Epiphany, the 3 wise men came, and they showed that Christ was made incarnate for the whole world, not just for the people of Israel. It's the 12th day of Christmas, if you've ever sung that song. You're supposed to leave your Christmas tree up until Epiphany, and then you're supposed to take it down. But Lent is a season of preparation for the Passion of Christ. The Passion of Christ is that horrible but necessary death of Jesus on the cross. And of course, the resurrection that comes on the next Sunday on Easter. Thinking about this season of Lent, this movement from Epiphany to Lent, made me start thinking about our own mortality. Friends, I have bad news for you. We're all going to die. But we will be raised from death. We're promised that in Scriptures, but we will not be raised from death here. When we die, we will of course be resurrected with Christ in eternity. But that brings up the question, what about now? What about when we die and our bodies, our souls, our spirits leave this planet, leave our bodies behind, those loved ones that we leave behind? Well, our story that we're reading today is about Jesus taking his 3 closest friends to the top of a mountain. This is reminiscent of Moses' time on Mount Sinai when he met with God and received the 10 Commandments. And there, Peter, James, and John see something spectacular. The heroes of Jewish faith are there with Jesus, and Moses and Elijah, the representatives of the law and the prophets. Peter wants this special time to last. He wants this special time to hold on just for a little while longer. He says, just a little longer, just one more day. Let's build booths, let's build dwelling places, tabernacles, so that you might remain with us here in this special state. And then there's that big bright light. Moses and Elijah are gone. God tells them, the 3 of them, to listen to Jesus, to do what he says. And God tells them to get back down the mountain, to go back to their daily work of ministry. Our days are numbered. In the 90th Psalm, we are told that the years of our lives are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. And James, in his letter, assures us that you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. When someone you love is near death or has died, do you plead for just one more day? One more day to say I love you. One more day to tell stories. One more day to make a difference. On April 3rd, 1968, the night before his assassination, Martin Luther King Jr. was speaking at the Mason Temple in Memphis, Tennessee. According to some sources, the speech he gave that night was completely improvised. He was staffed to come up on stage and to preach. And at the end, he began to talk about untimely death, not knowing that it was his last night on earth. He said, well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. King had no way of knowing that his life would end by an assassin's bullet the next day. But thank God for the courage and faith of his mountaintop revelation that allowed Dr. King to keep going back down the mountain into the trenches of political, racial, and economic danger. Who knows what might have happened if King had had just one more day or several more days? What would have happened in the world? All too often when I'm at a memorial service of someone and we're having the service together, wonderful stories are told about the person who has passed away. They tell wonderful stories about who they were, and the things they did, the things they accomplished, and the lives that they touched. And all too often as we gather into the reception afterwards, we say, why didn't we tell the stories of that loved one while he was still with us? We always think that we have just one more day. The Best 10 Things About Barney is one of my favorite children's books. This one is another one. It's called Knots on a Counting Rope. And by Bill Martin and John Archambault. And it tells the story of a blind Native American boy and his grandfather. The grandfather, with the boy's constant interruptions, tells the story of the little boy's life. And at the end of the book, the grandfather ties another knot in the counting rope. It begins like this, the two voices going back and forth. The little boy says, tell me again, grandfather. Tell me who I am. I have told you many times, boy, and you know the story by heart. But it sounds better when you tell it, grandfather. Then listen carefully. This may be the last telling. No, grandfather, there will never be a last time. Promise me that. Promise me. I promise you nothing, boy. I love you. That's better than a promise. And I love you, grandfather. But tell me the story again, please. And he tells the story of how the boy was born on a windy, stormy night, and how he can ride a horse like the wind in spite of his handicap. And then he says, now, boy, now that the story has been told again, I will tie another knot in the counting rope. When the rope is filled with knots, you will know the story by heart and can tell it to yourself. So that I will grow stronger, grandfather? Yes, stronger, strong enough to cross the dark mountains. I always feel strong when you are with me, grandfather. I will not always be with you, boy. No, grandfather, don't ever leave me. What will I do without you? You will never be alone, boy. My love will always surround you with the strength of horses. The grandfather will not always be there, but even when he is gone, his love will be there. So today, as we head toward through the season of Lent, as we head towards the life, the end of Jesus' life on this earth and his resurrection, let us remember that we have been surrounded by the love of our loved ones who've gone on before us. Do we tell the stories of our families to our loved ones? Do we tell those stories sitting around the dinner table or at night, sitting around as we sit in our living rooms? Do we tell our stories over and over again? Or are we waiting for just one more day? Do we tell the story of Jesus, the things that he's done for us in our lives, the things that he can do in the world? Do we tell those stories with our loved ones? Or are we waiting for just one more day? I'll tell the story later. Do we do the sometimes challenging work of ministry, coming off the mountain? Or are we waiting for just one more day? Do we love the world unreservedly, loving everyone we encounter? Or are we waiting for just one more day? So don't wait. Don't wait for that day. Tell the stories of your family. Tell the stories of your childhood. And tell the stories of God's love for the world, knowing that the ones who've gone on before us have surrounded us with their love and will always be with us with that love. Scriptures tell us, and it's true, friends, our days are numbered. So let's not wait. There isn't always just one more day. Will you pray with me? Gracious God, we pray that you will hold us in your hands. We pray that we will feel the love of those who've gone on before us. And God, we pray that we will be able to tell the stories to our loved ones, to those around us, that we might share our love with one another and with the whole world. And God, we ask that you will keep us near to your heart, so that when we lose a loved one, we are able to say, God,